Chapter 7, Part 1, 2, and 3. Part 1, Description of Cosmic Spheres. The greatness of the biography of Sripada Srivallabha. In the morning, Tirumala Das completed his daily worship and began to narrate. My dear Shankara Bhatt, the divine life history of Sripada Srivallabha is a divine elixir. It is unheard of, unprecedented, and undebatable. You have the good fortune of writing his biography only on account of the boundless grace of Sripada Srivallabha on you. This great fortune, which is not available even to great scholars, is granted to you. This is only his will. Part 2. The appearance of Sripada in many places at the same time. After he got out of death, the attractive power of Narsavardhani decreased. In the past, when he was thinking of any person in his meditation, that person would come to him however far he might be. That power was now lost. People who were afraid of him and praised him previously were now not afraid of him. When a situation arose, they would tease him with bad talk. His financial state also started deteriorating. The means of getting daily food also decreased. He came into the street wailing at this miserable condition. At that time, Bapnarya was carrying his grandson on his shoulders. The house of Bapnarya was situated at the corner of a street. Sri Charan was spending more of his time at his grandfather's house than at his own house. He was going freely to the houses of Sri Narasimha Varma and Sri Panda Venkatapaya Shrishti. Narsavardhani wanted to speak with Sripada. He wanted to hold the charming divine child in his arms and kiss him. Narsavardhani saw Sripada, who was going with Bapnarya. Srivallabha looked at Narsavardhani and smiled. That smile was very bewitching. Then Narsavardhani went to the house of Shrishti for some grocery items. There Sripada Srivallabha was in the lap of Shrishti. Sripada extended his looks towards Narsavardhani and smiled sweetly. Narsavardhani returned to his home with grocery items and from there went to the house of Narasimha Varma. At that time, he saw in the house of Sri Varma that Srivallabha was sitting on the shoulders of Sri Varma. Again, Srivallabha extended a playful smile on seeing Narsavardhani. Narsavardhani saw Srivallabha in the houses of his grandfather, Sri Varma and Sri Sheshri at the same time. He was in a dilemma, thinking whether it was a dream or an illusion of Lord Vishnu. The people in the village were blaming him in different ways and were making fun of him. They were blaming him that he was responsible for the disappearance of the self-manifested idol of Datta in the Padagaya Kshetra. Narsavardhani was roaming in the streets like a traveler without any destination. He reached home like a madman. His wife was grief-stricken, seeing her husband as a mad person. She went inside the room of worship to vent to her agony with the god. What she saw was a most wonderful sight. Sripada Srivallabha was in their worship room. There was no end to the joy of the couple. They begged Sripada to partake food with Totakura curry to be prepared by them. Sripada did not agree to that when the right time, cause and action come together. There will be a great opportunity. A wise person notices it and get benefited, and unwise person does not notice it and will lose the opportunity. At last, Sripada agreed to dine in their house, but not in the present life. He promised them that he would be born in the holy land of Maharashtra in the next birth under the name of Sri Narasimha Saraswati, and that he would certainly visit their house and eat food with cooked Totakura curry with the powers of his Ganesha incarnation which took place on Sri Ganesha Chaturthi. Another great person with the name of Gajana would be born after some centuries nearer to his birthplace. It may be possible to change the courses of the sun and the moon, but it would not be possible for anyone to alter the promises of Sripada. All the living creatures in the creation, including the five elements, have to obey his commands in compliance with his promises. He is steadfast and truthful even when universes shake and aeons change. His supportive place will still remain ever true and most modern in that chamber of worship. Sripada gave some beneficial advice to Narsavardhini and his wife. Those sacred beneficial preachings are useful to all devotees of Datta. The following conversation took place between Narsavardhini and Srivallabha. Part 3. The dialogue between Sripada and Narsavardhini in the Puja Mandir, the preachings of Sripada to Narsavardhini. For the question of Narsavardhini, Sripada Srivallabha replied with his preaching. Question: Who are you? Are you God, a yaksha, a magician? Reply: I am myself. I am the primordial power that is inborn in every atom in this creation made of five elements, from animals and birds up to the entire countless living creatures. I also reside in them in their maternal and paternal forms. I am the prescriptor of this total creation. Question: Then are you a creation of Lord Datta? Reply: Undoubtedly. I am Datta. As you are having a body, I also come with a body to enable you to recognize me. In fact, I am formless, attributeless. Question: Then you have no form or attributes, isn't it? Reply: To have no form is also form. To have no qualities is also quality. I am the base for form and no form, for attributes and non-attributes, and I am beyond them also. Question: If you are everything, why weal and woes to living beings? Reply: Myself and yourself are within you. Yourself residing within you is Jiva, and myself residing in you is Paramatma. As long as you entertain the notion of doorship, you cannot become me. Till then, you cannot come out of pairs of opposites like happiness and misery, sin and virtue. When the you in yourself diminishes and I in you ascends higher, then only you come closer to me. As you come closer and closer to me, your responsibility decreases when you are under my care. You obtain happiness and well-being. Question: Some people say that Jivatma and Paramatma are different. Others are saying that Jivatma is very close to Paramatma. Some others maintain that Jiva is God. Which of them is correct? Reply: There is no loss if both of us remain separate. Beneficial fortune would accrue when your arrogance is annihilated and both of us remain in a state of duality. You remain in a state of bliss provided you realize that everything is earned on account of my grace and that you are only an instrumental phenomenon. Liquidation of moha is liberation. Therefore, you can attain salvation even in a dual state. When you are in a very close proximity to me, I will be revealing through you. When all my powers are revealed through you, when your arrogance is destroyed, the ignorant infatuation in you decreases. In this superior non-dualistic state, you achieve bliss. This is also liberation because it is devoid of infatuation. When your ego is totally erased and your presumption of being the door is completely burned down, the I in you fades out and only me remains in you. So you will attain Brahmananda. Therefore, you can achieve liberation even if you are in a non-dualistic state. The state of Brahmananda is all the same whether you are in a dualistic, non-dualistic or distinguished dualistic stage of spiritual progress, it cannot be captured by mind or word. It is only a matter of experience. Question. Some people who attain the position of Avadhuta call themselves the Supreme Brahman. Then are you an Avadhuta? No, I am not an Avadhuta. I am the superior Brahman. An Avadhuta expresses that everything is Brahmin, but I am Brahmin and my position is that I am everything. Question. I do not understand the secret in this small difference. An Avadhuta who is freed from all worldly bonds merges in me and experiences the state of supreme bliss. He has no individuality, and when there is no individuality, there is no will or resolve. I am in the great resolve for this creation, and I am also in the supreme power. I am in the shape of the power of illusion called living creatures. If I order an Avadhuta who merged in me to take birth again, he should obey it. Mine is a form of truth, knowledge and bliss coupled with willpower. Their form of truth, knowledge and bliss is devoid of willpower. Question. Fried seeds do not germinate, isn't it? After attaining the knowledge of Brahman himself, how is it possible to be born again? It is a nature of creation that fried seed will not sprout. However, the power and strength of the Creator lies in sprouting of fried seeds. In fact, my incarnation in the past took place to prove truth through these theories and counter theories. Question. Lord Datta, Sripada kindly explained. Reply. My father, who crossed all traits like past, future and present. Reply. My father, who crossed all traits like past, future and present, three states of existence, creation, continuous and liquidation, became known as each Atri. My mother became well known as Anushya because she was not having the slightest envy or hatred towards any creature or any matter. Sage Atri undertook a severe penance to visualize the Paramajyoti, which is the support for the Trinity and also beyond it. Mother Anushya also did penance, praying to that Paramjyoti to look at each living being and matter in the creation with ambrosia glasses and shower grace on them. Living beings experience weal and woe according to the principles of karma. Therefore, Mother Anushya prayed with the intent that the results of great science should affect people slightly and the results of small virtuous acts should give bountiful results. Mother had transformed strong metal pieces in the shape of chickpeas into live eatable chickpeas by virtue of her spiritual power acquired through penance. Matter is the consciousness in complete dormant state. Trees and tree-related substances are consciousness in a partial sleep state. Animals belong to the state of complete consciousness. The evolution of man takes place in the following manner. At first, the being is born as mineral and then dies. Afterwards, the being takes birth as trees and creatures, then takes birth as animals, and finally emerges as a human being. Such a human being should cultivate discrimination, wisdom, and detachment and awaken the divine power dormant in him and strive to achieve liberation. Mother have proved that the properties of the evolutionary process can be changed with the grace of the Almighty. The consciousness in the form of the Trinity was in an awakened state. Therefore, she changed into a dormant state and transferred the three Godheads into the form of infants. The powers of the three mothers became one and formed as Angadevi. I was born as a Dattatreya and married Angadevi in the incarnation of Sripada Srivallabha. I was born in the form of Ardha Narasimha with Angadevi on my left side and Dattatreya on my right side. This is form of Lord Shiva combining half masculine and half feminine features. You must understand that the Lord who created this magnificent creation according to his free will also was the strength, the power to alter the principles of creation when needed. Question. Sripada, you are capable of changing the principles and nature of creation. Can you not remove my poverty? Reply. Certainly I can remove your poverty, but I am postponing it to the next birth. Even in the next birth, I will grace only after you suffer poverty for a long time. Totokura is a small thing. How much attachment did you develop on that? My mother, father, or grandfather never asked anything from anyone being a small boy. How much food will I eat? When I wanted it, you should have given Totokura immediately. Now that time is over to remove the dirt from your mind. This lifespan is not enough. Every man gets a lifespan, wealth, beauty, and fame as the fruit of his merit. As a result of sin, one gets a shortened lifespan, poverty, ugliness, and ill fame. I took out a major portion of your merit and gave you some more life. Much of your merit was expended. Much sin remained. You will have to experience the poverty as you worship the self-manifested Datta. I am gracing you that you will get enough food to eat twice in a day without suffering, even though you will have no wealth. Question: Sripada's scriptures enjoined that we should follow the caste system. Your grandfather decided that Vaishyas can have investiture of the holy thread under the Vedic system. Is it not wrong? Reply: your tongue should be slit as you are finding fault with the decision of that Satya Rishivar. Who do you think is our grandfather? He is actually Bhaskaracharya. The couple Vishnu Datta and Sushila were very sacred person who did not know what selfishness was. I instructed the deities of time and action to make them my parents. The ancestors of Narasimha Varma were great devotees of Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami. They were pious people who organized large-scale food donations during the sacrifices and rituals in Simachalam. Even before I was born in Pitikapuram, I was planning in a systematic way. My relationship of indebtedness for those three families will not be over in one life. It will not end in one incarnation. My bountiful hand will benefit them for generations. They will live without any worry under the shade of my divine canopy.